early because we want to utilize the 9 p.m. Revolution call. So we will get started. We've got a small group on tonight, but it is summer and understandably lots of activities going on. Jen, I see that you're on as well too, which is great. So I don't think there's anybody on the call that was on Mitra's call on Tuesday. Is there anybody? You guys can make a comment in the chat section. Anybody was on Tuesday call? Because I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about it if none of you guys were on it. Okay, I don't think anybody was on. So I'll touch base on it. It was really good. But before I do that, we are in week 2 of the 90-day game plan. I know some of you are playing. Some of you are playing full out. Some of you are playing as much as you can based on your crazy schedule. Awesome. No judgment on our end. It's a tool available for you guys to do what you want with it. And obviously, I watched the recording, JD. Oh, perfect. So I might use you to help with a little bit on the, and I'm here just blocked out because everyone is naked over here. Okay, yes, no soft porn tonight with the kiddos. Oh my goodness. Raising young children and doing this business is always, always such an adventure. Many, many stories to share as they grow up, that's for sure. So anyways, before we jump in and talk a little bit about what Mitra was talking about yesterday on the rep call, just wanting to connect with you guys to find out how kind of week 1 went with the 90-day game. And if you guys got kind of any stories. I know, Ashley, you shared on Monday with our VF and sales coordinator. I know that you're really leveraging it. Is there anybody else that wants to kind of share? Is anybody doing the WODs, which is the daily activity challenges? And how are you feeling? Is it getting you uncomfortable? Is it helping you build business, conversations? Brandy, do you want to share?
Here I am. Okay. Yeah, I've been definitely watching the WODs, and I mean, you don't have to do every one, and if it doesn't resonate with you, then I just change it and I do something a little bit different.
Okay.
I'm just making sure that I pay attention to it and that I'm keeping my posts active. And even when I don't want to do it, I'm still doing it.
Good. What's pushing you to do it when you don't want to do it?
Knowing that if I don't do it, then I'll just like fall off the wagon and it'll be so much harder to get back on.
And do you have a vision or a goal after the 90-day game that's helping you stay on track?
I would like to be at Q.
Okay.
I mean, I would like to be at NMD, but being realistic, Q is the next.
Yeah.
So obviously the last 90-day game, I went to SSC.
Yes.
So, and there was so many other people who hit their goals, right? So you just know that it's possible. And
yeah, exactly. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, that's so Brandy is a great example. Is the last 90-day game, which was Jan, Feb, and March. She played, and she accomplished moving from sales coordinator, which is our 4th position in our marketing plan, to our 5th position. And so now she's getting and utilizing this to get to the next. And that's what a lot of people do to kind of use this 90-day game. And hopefully you guys all understand it. I'll quickly review though, if you don't. It's top leaders that are gifting you with the opportunity to plug into daily challenges that are put on a private group called the 90-day game. And if you're not on it and want to still participate, you can just connect with your upline. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 9 o'clock, there is what we call them a Freedom Revolution call. And these calls are amazing. They are run by top leaders. They typically have 3 or 4 people on their team that are sharing either a product story or a business story. There's a script that we're supposed to follow so every time you go to these calls, they're kind of consistent just with different people. So the same kind of information is going to be shared, the same product information, the same business information. So there's kind of a consistency. I got asked today, Nicole, what do you recommend when we have a prospect, what do we do with a call? And is there a benefit to maybe selectively getting them on a call? And obviously that would be great. I mean, usually the week before you get your 4 flyers. So for the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursdays during the day, you get your 4 flyers, and you can kind of see a little bit of a theme with each flyer. Sometimes there's, you know, just mummies, sometimes there's daddies, sometimes there's health professionals. And so if you are working, let's say with a or like a prospect, it is beneficial to peek and look to see if there's a particular night that might connect with that person with their story. So I start there with the new prospect. So I'll say, listen, we've got 4 events for you to tap into. It just happens that on Tuesday night, you're a yoga teacher, and there's going to be a yoga teacher talking about how she's built her business on Tuesday night. Is it possible for you to be able to join on Tuesday night at 9 o'clock? That's kind of how I would set it up. And if she says, listen, Tuesday night is like really bad for me, then I would say, okay, then, you know, we've got Monday, we've got Wednesday, and we've got Thursday during the day. What would work best for you? And then I let them choose. I used to get really, what's the word I'm looking for? Caught up in trying to find the perfect call for the perfect person. But you know what? You never know who they're going to connect with. So I do my best. So an example is I'm working with a new male rep on my team, and he has a male prospect that's interested in looking at the business. So as Dax knows, men do this business differently than women. And he said, well, I looked at the flyers and there's no men on the flyers coming up. Kind of awkward, right? Like you invite a man and there's just women. And so the good news is we saved the Adam call, and it's a link. And so Adam did that call a couple weeks ago. So that's the call that I recommended he use when he talks to his male people, until we have a revolution call with male energy. Does that make sense, Dex? Maybe you can comment on that, because I think that's really important to really meet our reps where they're at. And like I said, guys do it differently. So is that a good call, Dax, is making sure that if there's a male prospect, to connect with that male energy?
Well, of course, because they definitely want to have certain, like they have a different mindset, obviously, and a different way of thinking and wanting to do things. So I find it difficult sometimes when the women are doing all these other things, and it's like, well, okay, I'll tag along, I'll do it. But
yeah,
obviously, if they can find something that they have more commonalities and things that they know that would be, you know, attractive to other guys that would join the business. Because right now, my new distributor, her brother is looking to get on. So
okay.
I'm hoping that he and I can do something that guys would like to do too as well. So, and it's just trying to find that thing that we can attract not just guys but women too, but that it's more gender neutral kind of thing. So yeah, it is important to. I would do that same thing. I would show that Adam Westwick call, Brian Marsh call all the time. I think that'd be great.
Okay, that's great. So for the ladies on here, if you are looking to, I'm going to say, bring on men, just from that perspective, you want to make sure that you're sending them that male energy for introduction. The other thing that we need to think of too, when we're bringing on a new person, whether it's male or female, is it's really important if they do have a partner to make sure that that partner gets connected in some way to what they're doing. So let's say, for example, you bring on, you know, a female rep. What a great video to share for her husband or partner, the Adam video, just so that they know what she's up to. And I know that happened for JD when she started, and her husband, I think, saw a video that kind of like opened up his world to the opportunity that he had no idea. So just to keep that in mind. I just want to do a shout out. There's a couple people on here. So we have Karen Porter. You can't see her face, but this is her first team call. She's a brand new distributor on our team. She's a holistic nutritionist about 15 minutes south of me of Uxbridge. She lives in Claremont, and she does cooking workshops, so helping people get back to basics in the kitchen at her house. And she also does women's retreats at her cottage up north. So Karen and I met a few years ago, and I'll share the story of the importance of putting stuff on Facebook. Is I put a salad in a jar party on a couple groups, and she said yes, and she came to my party. She was a total stranger. And that night, I think she ordered the Children's House Study. And the cool thing is, I don't even think I sold her on it. I had other distributors there that started to talk to her about the product. So the power of having other distributors at your event. So she signed up. She's been a customer for a couple years. She's come out to a couple Juice Plus events. And yeah, she was just ready to share. And she's plant-based. Which is such a perfect fit with our product. So just really excited to have Karen on board. So welcome, Karen. And then I see this beautiful woman here, Zenora. Zenora, are you on JD's team? So we're, okay, I'm trying to keep up. So Zenora, welcome. I don't know if you've met yet.
No.
Who's that?
I'm Brandy.
Yeah. Wonderful. Where are you from?
I'm Guelph.
Oh, you're from Guelph.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I just saw that Stephen Millman sold his house in Brampton, who's our VP of sales, and is moving to Guelph. Brandy, you got to take advantage of that.
Oh.
And Callie. So you guys, when you start to do some of your events in Guelph, it's called, hey, Stephen. Right, Stephen, he's in your backyard now, our VP of sales. He can come to some of your events and talk about our corporate vision. I think that's exciting. If not, just stalk him at his house and he'll eventually show up. Awesome. Well, welcome. I'm so excited.
Thank you.
Do you have a product story that you want to share? Why did you join the team?
I joined, well, I started the product a while ago, but I didn't use it. I'm not very consistent in a lot of things. So I knew Brandy a while ago, and it was to just get my body and my skin better. But then I have a 10-month-old, and so Brandy always kept in contact with me.
Okay.
So I was talking to her again with about it, and then so I start taking it, and just notice a difference, especially in my energy level.
Okay.
So I continued talking to her, and then she had a post about being your own boss. So I was asking her, because I'm going back to work in August, but not excited about it. So we started talking about it, and I thought, while I'm at work, something, it's good to start something. I need to start somewhere. And I always wanted to do something on the side on my own. And I always like to be independent. So it was something that when we were talking that really got to my attention, and I thought, well, these pills are really making me feel good, and it's good for my son, which makes me really excited. So I just thought, what is it to lose? So the more I get to know about it, and the more videos I watch and stuff like that, it just makes me more interested all the time. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's always exciting. So welcome to the team. We have these
Thank you.
once a week on Wednesdays at 8:30 just to connect as a team. Summertime we're a little bit soft, but we usually have about 30 to 40 people on here. But I think a lot of people are on holidays and on docks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just always nice to connect to everybody. So thank you and welcome. So
Thanks.
we've got about 10 minutes left. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about verbiage and having conversation with people and getting people on the freedom calls. So, I would love to hear from you guys of how you're doing it as well. One of my favorite lines, so one of the WODs, the daily task last Thursday was Melissa was asking about if you did those posts on Facebook and you had likes or comments, is to follow up with each person to say, hey, so an example would be I posted on the Tower Garden and I got like 130 likes. I was like, if you guys read my tower garden, I was like kind of like hugging it. And I did a post like I was married to my tower garden, in love with it. And it was very funny, and, you know, and it, I think, caught a lot of attention. So I did follow up with a bunch of people, and it was just a really honest, authentic follow-up. Hey, Jen, thanks so much for liking my tower garden. As you can see, I'm totally in love with it, and will probably be, you know, for the rest of my life. So I kind of was, you know, playful with it. And then I said, you know, I'm really looking to help grow my mission of helping people eat more plants and grow their own produce. Would you be open to a conversation to learn how you could help me? Okay, I love that. Would you be open to a conversation? That's a line that I use all the time. Would you be open to a conversation? And I did get a no right out of the gates. No, thank you. Okay. But that's okay. I love strong no's. Like, strong no's are awesome. I'd rather have a strong no than a maybe, or a like avoid you. So I'm not scared of the no's. So if I could gift you with some, you know, advice, love on the no's. When a no comes, go like, thank you for being honest. Like, I really like, thank you. And be okay with it. And just, you know, I always respond in a positive way, you know, oh, I guess it's not your time. No problem. You know, and, you know, then I'll just like, you know, end it in a soft way, not being mean or resentful or anything like that. Like, thanks, you know, thanks for your honest answer. I appreciate it. I guess it's not your time. Have a beautiful summer. Like, you know, just positive, right? Just keep the vibe high. But I got a lot of people that said, yeah, I'm open to a conversation. Let me know how I can help. So guess what I do? When can you jump on a call with me? Next week, I'm pretty open. I've got, you know, 3 times. I'm good in the, you know, Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning, or, you know, Thursday evening. What would work for you? And then you book that appointment in your calendar. And that really gets you into conversation. Because again, guys, you know, to remind you about the importance of conversation, that is the foundation of our business, is always getting into conversation. And making sure to follow up. I'm working with some new reps right now, and they keep on saying, holy cow, I can't believe how much work it is for follow-up. And I go, I know it is a lot of work, but you know what? The money is in the follow-up. Your paycheck is in the follow-up. If you don't follow up, people are not taking you serious. And I'll give you an example. There was a lady that I told at the gym a couple weeks ago that I was going to give her some Omega information. And I saw her today and I totally forgot. And I felt, do you ever feel like embarrassed? I was like embarrassed. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. So I went up and just said, oh my gosh, Deb, I'm so sorry. I owed you information on the Omegas. I am totally, when I get home, sending it to you. So I did. So follow up is so important. Think of all the people that we forget to follow up with. And like, think about a personal experience that you guys have had in the last year where you have had horrible customer care, or you have had horrible follow-up. And how do you feel about that person? Not good, especially if you've bought something and you don't get a card, or you don't get a phone call, or you don't get a text that, you know, did you get your product? It doesn't make you feel good, and you don't have this positive feeling. So if I can give you, you know, some advice about that, is making sure that you're loving on the follow-up, loving on your customers. I know, Nikki, are you just about done that postcard for follow-up? Is it done?
The customer one is done. The rep one, you just have to give me verbiage.
Perfect. So maybe, Nikki, you can post that on Team B to show them an example of what like a nice card would look like that could, you know, get mailed out to your new customers, so that you can just, again, love on them, right? So we've got about 5 minutes left. Does anybody want to share some of the verbiage that you're using to get people on the calls? Or like, I know, Ashley, I keep on seeing you posting in the Design a Life You Love, which I think is a fantastic, you know, private page with our stories, with our videos. So for all your prospects that, you know, need stories and need to hear that third-party validation, you know, it's a great, great page for you to really take advantage of. And it's funny because I see certain people taking advantage of that and some people not, and that's okay. It's just that I think sometimes we forget about it, but it is a great page that we put together like about a year ago where most of our leaders' 10-minute story of product and business is on there. And then typically if we do a Freedom Revolution call within our team members, we usually post it there. So if your prospect misses it, you can add them to the group and tag them. So Ash, do you want to maybe just share like how that's working for you? Because right now I think you're one of the most active people in that group tagging people. So I think for newbies, they're like, well, how would you even invite them, or how do you get them to watch it? What are you saying? What's your verbiage?
I say go to the 90-day game and watch what I said. No, I'm just kidding. So basically completing the 90-day game right now. I'm very active in that. So I'm completing the WODs, and that alone is just giving me everything I need to create the conversations. And honestly, the conversations are from one thing to another. So it might be, hey, I seen you liked my Tower Garden post. I was wondering if you wanted some more information on how, you don't have to have your hands in the dirt, how you don't have to weed your garden. I know how much you hate weeding your garden. Just being relatable. And then basically at that point, as soon as they get back to me, I talk to them a little bit. I ask them a few questions, and then I just say like, awesome. Like we need to, connect with a friend of mine, and we can, see if this might be something you could add to, your toolkit, as you would say, or, a way we could work this into your busy life. And so now I have 16 people who I'm talking to, and we are trying to set up dates, which is easier said than done with summer and kids and stuff, because they're all moms. But we're trying to sort out dates so that I can come to the leader, to Nicole and Melissa and Jen, with a bunch of names that we can just hammer out all at once. But the conversations are all just really genuine, and I wouldn't say there's any specific verbiage. No specific verbiage. It's just whatever seems right at the time, I guess.
So it's, I think, a simple invite.
Whether it's kids and maybe their kids have been really sick. Yeah, just really simple, and just asking questions. So there isn't really any specific verbiage. My team's been asking for verbiage too, and I've shared with them a couple examples, but it's nothing that might relate to everyone. So just be genuine and kind of catering it.
Okay. You were cutting out there a little bit, but I guess Ashley was just saying again.
It might be frozen.
I look who is speaking and then reach out to those people. Yeah. So it's, I mean, sometimes we complicate it in our head of like what to say and does it have to be perfect? But I think if you're really caring for someone, so an example would be, and then I think we have to wrap up, but my new rep said that he saw a fellow at the gym working out, and they've been going to the gym for years. And he knows that he's been an athlete and a runner for a very long time and very lean, but he saw him for the first time in a long time, and it looked like he put on like 50 pounds. And so he had noticed that he had did a like on his Facebook page. So after the gym, he reached out and said, hey, bud, thanks for, liking my, post on these capsules. And he goes, well, what are these capsules? Can you tell me more? And then they got into a conversation, like, why are you on it? What did it do for you? Sent him a video. And now he's in conversation and considering doing the business because he's not making enough money because he's going through a divorce and it's not pretty right now. And his health is suffering. And so it was all in, this particular distributor, as I explain it, is that you're being aware of people's situation, that there's a lot of pain out there. So he saw his pain. This isn't normally who he is. He must be going through something. Oh my gosh, he's going through a divorce. I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, money's tight right now and his health isn't well. So he found a need. And so for you guys, when you go out there to the world, I always say that there's usually a need in the health, finance, or loneliness, that they're looking for a like-minded community. So as Ashley said, ask the questions, you know, how's your health doing? Are you on track? Are you feeling awesome? You know, I know for some people it's very uncomfortable when you start to ask about health or finances, but let me tell you, so many people are in financial pain, and people are in the back of their mind, if they have financial pain, are definitely thinking of what else could I do? What else could I do? So, you know, it's a conversation like, you know, when's the last time you took a holiday with your family? There's a conversation, you know, when's the last time you got, you know, that car that you were looking for? Like, it's just a natural conversation based on like their situation. And that will usually draw out to say, oh my God, I wish I could go on a holiday. Well, tell me more about that. What's preventing you? Are you kidding me? Do you know how much debt I have? Do you know how much credit card debt? And then that next verbiage would be, would you be open to a conversation about learning more about a side hustle that you could take on like I did? That's kind of like my verbiage. Would you be open to a conversation? Would you be open to a conversation? And then I might get somebody else on. It might just not be me. So I hope that helps. I hope that there was some good language there. Just my favorite one, are you open to a conversation? And get me on, get Jen on, get Melissa on. We love doing three-way calls, or we call them connection calls or health consult calls. Don't be intimidated by us because we're national marketing directors. We are so humble, and we are here to help you build your business. And we've done it for a long time. We know how to have conversations. They are gentle. We are not aggressive on the calls. So I know that Crystal, you're using me a lot, so that's awesome. And Kathy, you know, you call me as well, which is awesome. And, you know, I just really appreciate that you guys are reaching out to us and leveraging our knowledge and helping you guys, I'm going to say close, or just get people closer to a yes. So I'm free in the evenings and weekends to do three-way too. That's Sarah Naylor. Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. So on that note, I just want to say thank you so much for seeing all of your smiley faces for the ones that could get on. Thanks for sharing. And, you know, enjoy the 90-day game. It's a lot of fun, and it goes by really, really fast. And end of September will come, and we'll be heading into conference time, and really hope that some of you that are going after your goals will get to that place and feel awesome. And if not, I mean, do you know how many times I reset my goals, guys? Conference to conference, but I never gave up. So keep going, keep pushing. We're here in the background to set those calls up. I've got a lot of space in my calendar next week, so if any of you guys want to set up three-way calls with prospects, Sarah's available, I'm available. I know Jen and Melissa, we're around as well too. So everyone, you guys have a great night, and for those that got guests on for tonight's Freedom Revolution call, it's starting in 1 minute. Have a good night, everyone.